What is happening today with our society? I just noticed that on social media, a lot of people are getting shadow banned. They're getting blocked from monetization just for having conservative views. Just a normal person is looking at society and saying things like, I want fathers to be able to stay at home and raise their kids. What is wrong with saying that? What is wrong with saying that I don't want to have high gas prices? I want to be able to live in a society where I can be able to take my kids, sign my kids up for school, where they're not being taught transgender ideas. What about teaching them how to do taxes? And different views like that are being shared on social media is being blocked. I just recently shared on my past couple of videos that when Donald Trump mentioned Jesus Christ, but when I shared that video, I got so much backlash just for sharing something like that. And we are seeing that again in today in 2024. That was back in 2016. What are we doing? What are we doing as a society? As a society, we are allowing the fact that social media is banning all these conservative views. What happened to being able to have free speech? So we're going to take a look at this video by Congressman Brian Donald and some of the things that he said. And this is just one example of what social media does by twisting words and not being able to share the whole context of this video. Let's take a look and then we'll talk about it.
Is there a specific period between 1867 and 1968 that you thought was this golden era for black families, or a time that was good for black families?
Joy, I never said that. And see, this is where the gaslighting
I'm going to read what you said.
All I was talking about was the marriage rates.
Stop. No,
Joy,
that's not what you said. Let's play what you said. Play what he said. Play what he said.
You're saying I said it was the golden era. I never said that.
I'm going to play what you said.
I said that it was better for black families. I never said that.
Yeah, well, that was something. That's Republican Byron Donald sparring with Joy Reid and other Democrats about remarks regarding Jim Crow and the era for African Americans. A lot of liberals getting worked over the comment. Watch here.
One of the things that's actually happening in our culture, which you're now starting to see in our politics, is the reinvigoration of black families with younger black men and black women. During Jim Crow, the black family was together.
That's right.
During Jim Crow, more black people were not just conservative, because black people always have been conservative-minded, but more black people voted conservatively.
The Florida lawmaker, Trump VP contender, is with me now. Sir, good morning to you. Quite the dust-up.
Good morning.
I know you disagree with what Joy Reid was saying on MSNBC. What were you trying to say then?
First of all, what we're talking about in Philadelphia a couple days ago was the importance of black families and united black families, growing black families in the United States. That's very, very important. The empirical fact is that Lyndon Johnson's policies, the Great Society, and other issues led to a massive decline in the marriage rate in black America. That is an empirical fact. The problem that the Democrats want to create, and this is a creation on their part, is that because I said Jim Crow, they think I'm talking about some golden era. What's important here in this entire phony controversy is that Joe Biden, his campaign, Democrat leadership, and the terrible press want to make an issue. They want to gaslight black people in this country. They want to make black people think in America that Republicans look at Jim Crow as it was some great time in American history. That is not true. They are gaslighting. They're lying. And so, Bill, to be blunt with you, I'm not going to be intimidated. I'm not going to go and do an apology tour. I'm going to stand up to them in the foolishness that they're trying to concoct, because what they want to see happen is black people, quote unquote, stay voting for Democrats, and they will use race, they will gaslight, they will lie, they will twist words for that to be accomplished. But I'm not going to let them twist my words. I'm going to stand up to them.
Democrat Hakeem Jeffries called it outlandish and outrageous. He went on to say, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Back to the MSNBC interview. Watch here.
You are in an interracial marriage. Your wife is a white conservative activist. Could your family have existed at all during Jim Crow?
No, it could not, Joy, and we all know that. But that's why I am blessed to live in America today as opposed to America during that time. But we cannot ignore the realities of not having fathers in homes. That is important. for Black people today and all people today as we move forward for a better America.
Seems to be a significant point, and it seems to draft off what you were pushing toward during the event you mentioned there a moment ago about President Johnson's policies that were signed into law. You believe fundamentally that it was those policies in the mid-1960s that led African Americans down a worse road.
Well, Bill, let's be clear. It's not about belief. It's the empirical fact. The marriage rate in Black America declined rapidly after the passage of a lot of the Great Society policies. So it was destructive. But let's talk about Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries saw a headline from the Biden administration and went to the House floor. He was wrong. And so, look, I'm not going to stand here and listen to Hakeem Jeffries lecture me when the truth of the matter is, if you want to talk about Jim Crow was Democrat Party policies that led to the disenfranchisement, frankly, the terror against Black people in America. That's one of the reasons why Black people during that time period were voting much more conservatively and have always been conservative minded. That's the overall point if we're going to be technical about the history. But like I said, they don't want to be technical. They want to gaslight, they want to twist, they want to lie. And so I'm not going to let them get away with that. I'm going to stand up to it. I'm going to stand firm on what I said, because if you're going to talk about families, family structure, and dads being in homes with their wives, raising kids is good for Black America, and it's good for all America.
And we're going to see whether or not Donald Trump can attract more African Americans. The polling suggests yes, but it really was at this point in 2020 where he was favorable as well. But a lot of African American voters, they went home and they voted for Joe Biden. Quickly want to show you this. The VP list, the short list that we think is out there now, you're on it, bottom row, second from the left. And Sean asked Donald Trump about this just yesterday. Roll it.
I think they'll announce who that person's going to be during the convention. I think that's pretty normal. During the convention, it'll be an interesting period of time.
Well, who's the best pick for Donald Trump?
Honestly, I'm going to leave that to Donald Trump. A lot of good people on that list. I think at this point, we just want him to win and get back into the White House. Everybody is committed to that, no matter who he decides to go with. At the end of the day, we got to get our country together, back on track. Our economy is a mess. Our borders insecure. Foreign policy is an abject disaster. Donald Trump will do a significantly better job.
Byron Donalds, thank you for your time.
After seeing that interview, Joy Reid to me is an example of what a lot of Black people that go against Black conservatives, that have different views than them. You can obviously see that Byron Donalds, just because he even said the word Jim Crow, automatically they want to basically smear his name and come up with all type of craziness just because he said those words, Jim Crow, and not even listening to the whole context of what he said, or even the whole context of the whole conversation. That's why I wanted to make this video, just to make it clear that social media, you cannot listen to everything that is on social media. Social media really is trying to silence a lot of conservative people that just have different views. And I just want to bring this to your attention. What are your thoughts? Do you think that Black conservatives are being silenced? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely comment, subscribe, and let's have this discussion. Until my next video, God bless.